What's going on, TW fans? Thomas here, bringing you this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. We are working our way through September, so if you don't find yourself in a deer stand or chasing elk somewhere, I hope you're out on the water. We got some of those pleasure boaters heading in, some of those kids going back to school, so you might find a little bit more water just to yourself. If you are out on the water, we got a ton of cool stuff to talk about today that might help you get it done. All right, so we're gonna jump right in. We got a new bait, this time from JSJ. We got the JSJ Pack Rat Recoil Edition. Some of you may recognize this bait. Well, we got a new addition to it, the Recoil Edition. Pretty much the only difference in this edition is it's made out of a different material. So it's now got a really soft silicone material, which is going to enhance the action, yet it's still really strong. So it's going to stand up to those bruiser bats that are looking for that protein-packed meal, chasing a rat right off the bank. The other addition to this one is they are actually going to be including an embedded screw lock hook retainer system here. So real easy, you just kind of peel back the plastic. You could thread on your favorite hook. They actually recommend an 8/0 owner beast hook with a little bit of weight to it. So any of those weighted, kind of oversized swim bait hooks in that 8/0 region are going to work really well. Pretty unique little rat. Most rats on the market, we're going to associate them with those topwater rats or, maybe a subsurface waking rat. But this one's different. Not that at all. This one's actually going to swim subsurface. So you're going to get a ton of action out of these kind of boot tail style feet. Plus you got that curly tail on there. So you're gonna wanna swim this one along weed lines, even through weed lines. It actually has a pretty generous hook channel back here, so you can really bury your point and keep this thing ultra weedless. But it's also gonna really excel if you're swimming it along, kind of some rip-rappy stuff where you're naturally finding those rodents near the water. And that's where those big bass are lurking anywhere, looking for, like I said, that easy protein-packed meal. That's when this one's really gonna help you bring those bruiser bass back to your boat here. So a cool one to check out from JSJ. A lot of stuff going on with it, ton of action, really soft, new material. I like this thing a lot. Let me know what you guys think too. Are you guys excited about a soft rat here? Do you guys prefer, the hard topwater waking rats? Let me know what you think. And if you have caught a lot of them, what's your biggest one? I want some competition. I want to see what number I'm trying to chase for you here. All right, well, let's take a look at some new hardware. First up, we got a new one from Temple Fork Outfitters. So this is the new TFO Resolve series of rods. We have casting and spinning. Naturally, I got a casting one in my hand here. Really nice. One of their higher end series of rods. So it's made out of a Toray carbon fiber blank. So really nice. It's really lightweight. I mean, right out of the packaging, this thing is just super lightweight rod. But that Toray carbon fiber is also really strong. So you don't need to worry about this thing breaking. On top of it, they have a C-Guide high grade guide train on this thing with some silicone nitride inserts. So that combined with that Toray carbon fiber blank is just gonna give you the ultimate in sensitivity. So if you're dragging a jig along the bottom, working a shaky head, whatever the case may be, you're gonna feel every single pebble, every change in contour, and most importantly, every bite. Now down below, we also have a C-Guide feel through reel seat. If you've ever used one of these reel seats, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. They have a little bit of a tacky feel to them almost. I like that, especially for, it's late summertime, so right here, right now, we're in the middle of a heat wave here on the West Coast. So if you're dealing with, those 100+ degree days and your hands are getting kind of sweaty, it's still gonna give you kind of that tacky feel, so you're gonna get a positive grip. Conversely, maybe it's early spring, you got some random showers coming through, just wet weather conditions, wet weather tournaments. These grips are gonna help you hold on to it. And speaking of the grips, AAA rated cork grips on the base end of these rods, just really nice high-end rods. Come with a sticker price at 280 bucks, so it's definitely one of TFO's higher end rods, but I think those materials alone really warrant that price, and it is a really lightweight, easy to use rod, so you're gonna wanna check them out. If you're looking for a reel to pair up with the spinning models, take a look at the Penn Fierce 4 spinning reel. So a really cool one for the multi-species angler. So whether you're out chasing big bass in freshwater or you're doing some inshore, nearshore fishing, this thing has got you covered. So full metal body on this one, it's really strong, really rigid. It's not gonna fail on you. It's gonna last a long time. So that's gonna be really nice. And it also has 4 sealed stainless steel bearings. So again, this is meant for that multi-species angler that's chasing fish in both fresh and salt water. So really nice. Comes in sub 100 bucks, but you're still getting some higher end features like this Braid ready spool system. I really like that, especially in, that kind of more budget friendly reel. You're gonna be able to go right onto this thing with your braid. You're not gonna get any of that slippage. It's got that tacky gasket to it. So just a really nice, budget friendly reel. Now, if you're looking to add some line to your reel here, we got a new one from Spiderwire. So this actually won Best of Show at ICAST this year. This is the Spiderwire Dura Braid. I know some of you guys have been using the Dura Braid for a long time. What's new about it? Well, you got a new color. You got high vis yellow. So if you are one of the ones that have been using the Dura Braid, you know what this thing is meant for. It's meant for fishing, docks, rocks, any of that hard structure, timber. It's just gonna stand up to abrasion really, really well. That's where that Dura in the Dura Braid name comes from. Well, now you got it in high-vis yellow. That high-vis yellow has really gained a lot of popularity, especially with our finesse anglers. You're gonna get kind of a visual element to your bite detection. So if you have a really subtle bite or the fish picks up your bait and you don't really notice it, starts swimming to you, you're gonna be able to see that on the water with that high-vis yellow coloring. But don't just leave it for the finesse guys. You know, when you power fishermen out there as well, if you're punching through mats, that yellow coloring is really nice because you can see your line jump. So some of those bites that you may otherwise miss, you know, especially on slack line, maybe you just punched it through, whatever the case may be, you're not gonna miss them anymore with that high-vis yellow. You can take a little, you know, braid marker, color in the last couple of feet for it to keep it camouflaged, but it's really nice to have that high-vis hit to it so you don't miss any of those bites. All right, let's transfer back to some baits here. We got another best of show winner for iCast. So we got a cool one from Berkeley. This is the Berkeley Powerbait Slobber Knocker Bladed Jig. I love fishing a bladed jig. It's gotta be, I mean, yeah, I love topwater a lot, but it's at least top 3 of my favorite techniques for chasing bass, and I'm really excited to put this one to use. There's a lot of bladed jigs on the market, so it's cool when they kind of come up with something a little bit more unique, a little bit more innovative, something to kind of change things out there. Some of the bass haven't seen before, or in this case, heard before. So you have a really unique direct to head connection on this one, and this blade's actually not gonna bang on kind of the outside of the head, which you see with a lot of bladed jigs. The way they molded this thing and cupped, it's actually banging along the inside. So you're just gonna get a different kind of acoustic sound to it. And we all know when you're ripping these things through grass, that's really where you're getting a lot of those hits, and you're getting it from that sound that the bass are hearing and keying in on and feeling with the thumping of the blade. So it's just kind of a cool new connection. Right behind that thing, I mean, you got a power bait infused skirt. I mean, you just can't beat that, you know? And so some guys are wondering, oh, well, what am I gonna do with a power bait skirt on a reaction bait? Makes more sense on a jig, something I'm working really slow. Well, picture, you know, maybe you're kind of ripping this thing through grass, like I mentioned before, where a lot of those bites are coming from. You get some slack in your line. When the fish hits this thing, they're gonna taste that power bait. They might hang on, give you an extra second or two to catch up to that slack and get a hook in the fish. So you're just gonna, again, miss less fish, which is always key. Super sticky sharp Fusion 19 hook on the back of this thing, so when you do get that fish on there, you know, you're getting them back to the boat. This thing isn't gonna bend out, break out, or fail on you, and has a nice keeper system, so whatever plastic that you thread on there is staying pinned. And I already mentioned that power bait soaked skirt, so you're getting a nice smell, scent to it, expanding your strike zone. So really cool new bladed jig from Berkeley. All right, let's take a look at another jig, this time from Greenfish. So we got the Greenfish brand new Bad Little Shad jig head. And this thing is just that, a bad little shad jig head. Cool bait fish profile jig head to it. It's gonna be great for any of you guys that like, you know, kind of that Demiki rig style of fishing. It has a 90-degree hook to it, so it's gonna hold it more of that horizontal, natural look. So whether you're targeting those suspended fish or just finicky fish in general, you're gonna get a really natural, horizontal presentation out of this one. Got a molded 3-collar keeper system on the back, so whatever plastic you do decide to throw on the back of this thing, whether it's a fluke, a little paddle tail, anything like that, it's gonna really, really hold on there well. The hook itself, sticky sharp, so you're gonna get really quick penetration, but it's also strong too. It's not gonna bend, it's not gonna break, so when you get that bruiser fish on your little bait, you know you can still get this thing back to the boat. Nice paint job on here, 3D holographic eyes, so just some cool new touches to it. All right, let's take a look at some hard baits. We got a whole new crank series from YoZuri. We have the YoZuri 3DR-X crank series. So it comes in 3 different diving depths. You have your shallow runner, your mid runner, and your deep diver down there. So nice, you got a small bill on the shallow runner. It's gonna be great for that 3-foot depth range. So if you're looking to terrorize those fish right along the bank, bulldoze it through that shallow cover, this is the one you're gonna wanna go with. If they're holding a little bit further off the bank, you want to go with this one here. The mid runner, it's going to dive to about 6 foot. So you're going to get the same great wide wobbling action out of here, but at multiple different depths. As you can see, a great color schemes on these two, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment here. So this is the deep diver. They all have that same 50 size body. So that's great if those bass are keying in on the smaller forage, yet they're holding down deep. You can use this thing to really, you know, target those deeper, hard to reach fish. This one dives down to 10 foot on it. The finishes on themselves, I already talked about that wide action, which is great, but if that's not enough to bring them in, the finishes on these things. It has their cool 3D prism finish. So if you're fishing clear water, it's gonna really grab that light and throw it a long way. Gonna kind of bring it in like a bait fish disco ball, if you will. Just gonna really toss out a ton of different light. So I like that a lot. And then the paint finish itself is pretty unique. It's actually internal. You have an internal paint job. So any of you guys that, you know, kind of get bummed about spending a lot of money, not that these are even that expensive, they come in at a great price point, but if you're spending a lot of money on a nice hard bait, and then you're bummed that the hook rash just wears off that paint finish really quick, you're not gonna get that in this one. With that internal paint job, that hook rash is not gonna shine through as much, and it's certainly not gonna rub off the paint since it's on the inside. So cool looks, devastating action, got 3 different diving levels, all from the YoZuri. Check out their new 3DR-X lineup, pretty cool one. All right, let's go back above the surface here. We're gonna take a look at a new one. This one's from Prototype Lures. This is the Prototype Lures Smasher Frog. I have the popping edition here, so you got a little cupped mouth to it that's gonna spit water. Now it's not a giant cupped mouth, so you're gonna get a little bit more of a subtle spit to it. Nothing wrong with that at all. So that's great for the open water conditions. You're gonna throw a lot of water disturbance on top, help kind of call those fish up from even ultra deep. So pretty cool for open water. And then of course it's gonna ride on those weed mats really well as well. So you got a rear weighted system on the bottom. So it's gonna help kind of sit with its tail end down. It's gonna walk really easy and come through that vegetation well. Now they got their own proprietary hook system. So they got their own frog hook going with this one. I was a little skeptical at first because it is a medium grade wire. So it's a little bit smaller than you see with other frog hooks. That is gonna be really nice because it's gonna increase your penetration speed. So you're gonna be able to stick more of those fish. We all know that can be hard sometimes to get a hook in a frog fish. Well, you're not gonna really get that with that smaller grade wire, but they say it's still ultra strong. So when you are fishing on those weed mats, over that slop, over those cheese, any of that stuff where those big bass are lurking below it, you're still gonna be able to muscle them out without worrying about bending out your hooks. They come with full-size skirtings on the bottom here, so you're able to trim them up to the exact size you want, which is really nice, and some cool colorways. You know, on the bottom here, you got a nice white belly, on the top a little bit darker, a little hint of orange up there, but a ton of different colors as well, so make sure to check them out on tacklewarehouse.com. A cool, unique new little frog, popping frog on this one. All right, last bait I want to talk to you guys about today. We got a new one from Xzone, the Xzone Lures. This is the Nico Ned Zone stick bait. Cool little stick bait. Right out the gate, I really like the colorways on this one. They did a great job coming out with a bunch of dynamite colors that I think are really gonna excel in a variety of water clarities, whether it's super clear, they have some colors for more murky stained water. It's just gonna really work well for a variety of conditions, which I like a lot. But most importantly with this thing, you know, Nico Ned in the name, both of those techniques require something that floats. And this is made with a high float plastic. So yeah, absolutely Nico Ned in the name, but if you want to Carolina rig this thing, if you want to throw it on a shaky head, if you want to drop shot this thing, you absolutely can. That little floating technique, when you're working it on the bottom, is going to keep it in that foraging position that fish just can't resist. You got ribbing from head to tail here, just gonna give it more of a natural mouth feel, kind of hold, push a little bit more water. And then you got that bulbous tail that's gonna quiver really well, even with just, you know, every shake of the rod tip or changing current. So a cool new Nico Ned worm from Xzone Lures that I really think is gonna get a ton of bites, and I like that it floats, so you can do a lot right on the bottom with it. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up everything we got new to cover for you today. As always, thank you for tuning in and checking out this episode, and to learn more about these products or to shop for them, make sure to click the link in the description. And let us know in the comments which one of these baits you like the most, or let me know about that rat. Do you like the sinking rat here, or do you like more of that hard bait floating rat? You know, we're excited. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know. And tune in. We'll see you all next week.